Probably the best this guitar sounded since it was made. This is a Jasmine acoustic. I think a young man paid $400 for it, and the setup on it is just despicable. But that's what they pay me to do. We are lowering the saddle height. We are going to adjust the truss rod, which we've already done a little bit of. Put some new strings on it. This is a brand new guitar. Just came out of the mail from, I don't know where they ordered it from, probably Amazon. The fretboard is totally dry. In really terrible condition. The frets are very, I don't know, look at them. They're just dull. I mean, you can't even see the lights in the room here, you know, glisten off of them at all. It's a brand new guitar. Very little work. It still has the pickguard cover on it. The young man hasn't played it. He's a brand new guitar player. And to me, a young guy learning to play guitar shouldn't know the difference between a shitty setup and one that's set up really well. So we're going to give him a good setup on this, a pro setup, and get this kid so that he doesn't stop playing because it hurts him so bad. I mean, had he played this guitar, he would have given up, and I mean, it would have taken a lot of work to play this thing. So we're going to get started on this. The guitar is really clean. Of course, it's just from the factory, just out of the box, just a few hours ago. And they brought it to me. Thank you, Leah, for the referral. Really appreciate that. And when he outgrows your teaching, you send him to me. I also teach guitar here at LeGrand Stereo and Music. So we're going to take my good old-fashioned tape down sandpaper and do some work on this saddle and get that thing lowered a little bit. The string action here at the 12th fret, when I measured it when they brought it in, right here was 9/64. That's nearly twice what it should be, which means it was up here nearly twice what it should be. So why work that hard, as B.B. King would have said. We'll be back with the saddle in it and tune it up and see what else we might find with this. Peace. Hit subscribe. I'm putting some oil on the fretboard. I just want you to kind of see what happens. Now I've doused that. This wood is so dry, and it's probably a laminated fretboard, I'm guessing. Maybe a picture of a piece of wood. This guitar was purchased off the interweb, and I mean, down here where I've applied oil, it's just, I mean, literally soaking it up as fast as I can put it on there. I'm guessing that this fretboard at the factory, or prior to shipping it out from Korea, it was probably never oiled at all. And forgive me for the lack of videography there. I was looking at my job. But again, I don't think this fretboard was ever oiled, and you can see how that looks now compared to what it was. And I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to take a bit of Never Dull polish to these frets. They're just really nasty. Then this one's brown. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you take a look at that real quick. Straight up above and kind of off to the side. You see what that looks like. Give me a moment. And this is what it looks like now. So a big difference. We're going to go over the rest of these frets, the rest of these brown frets with some Never Dull, and clean them up and make them look nice and shiny again. Or for the first time. We'll see. Look at how brown those are, and then boom, you got that nice shiny silver one. That's remarkable. Well, there we are. Now we've oiled and cleaned the fretboard, and look at that. Rewind and take a look at that wood before I oiled it, and take a look at the frets before I cleaned them. And that sort of stuff should probably be done by the manufacturer guitars, but they often don't, unfortunately. And you know, this is something that if you buy a guitar from us here at LeGrand Stereo and Music, we provide this service for you. Purchasing a guitar over the internet, sight unseen, not only is it Not only is it risky, but you don't get this type of service. All I got to do now is throw some strings on this guitar, tune it up, stretch them, and see how it holds up. I'm putting some 11s on here for this young man. He's a new guitar player, so I'm going to go with a lighter gauge string for him to start with, and then over time he'll learn to play and decide that he either likes or dislikes the strings, or puts a heavier gauge on there and really enjoys those, or maybe he wants to go lighter and pull a Billy Gibbons. Who knows? Can you imagine 7s on an acoustic guitar? Anyhow. Well, so I'm putting a brand new set of strings on this, and you see that? A little flattened spot in that. This is a B string from a set of Sessions strings. I love these strings. They're really affordable and have been real good quality, but I suppose if you put as many strings on guitars as I do, you're going to see this a little more often maybe than the average Joe. I've seen this more than once, but that's something we run into here, and we got to pay attention to that sort of stuff, because that's a busted string. If that just got thrown on the guitar, thank God I found it here at the shop, and I have extra strings here that I can pull. Well, the Jasmine is all strung up and situated, cleaned up, oiled. Got the frets looking nice and new, like they should. Oiled the saddles and the tailpiece here and all that, and this. Don't leave this shit on your guitar. Take it off of there as soon as you get it home, because if you leave it on there, it will stick on there and be stuck on there and come off in very small fragmented pieces and really just piss you off. So make sure to take that stuff off of there. This thing is brand new, so just out of the box, and the guitar is looking really sweet. Now, got all the exposed wood oiled. Looks like there's a little repair done here on the fretboard. You can see this little light spot here, and there's another one over here. I'm not sure what happened there. Something they did at the factory to touch up the wood to make it look presentable. 11 to 46, I believe. 11 to 50. Did a light gauge string on this. String action at the 12th fret, 5/64, and on the high E string, that would be the low E string, 5/64, and on the high E string, we're right around 4/64. So we did a good job getting that down from being a mile high. Would have made guitar playing for this young man very difficult. The guitar is all tuned up, ready to rock. I'm going to give it a little demo. And I would just like to add that when I set up guitars, especially for new guitar players, I want to make sure that they keep playing. And it's unfortunate to see a guitar purchased from an online company, I don't know, Amazon, or who knows where this Jasmine came from, but boy, the kid might have started playing and just given up because it was so hard to play. So I've set this guitar up as if it were mine. That's how I have my guitar set up, and that's the condition I keep my guitar in. Good fresh oil on the fretboard, polished frets, and good string action, good neck relief. I've set that one up with 12 thousandths of an inch at the 7th fret, 5th, 7th fret, and the guitar plays rather nicely. So I think this young man, not knowing the difference between having a really crappy setup and having one that's done professionally, he's not going to know the difference. But I do know that when he plays this guitar, it is going to be very easy for him to learn. And so if you're learning to play guitar, you just bought one, bring it to a professional. Let a professional do a setup on that thing. Even if he paid $150 for a guitar, they can all be adjusted to play better. This one had numerous issues that were, you know, for a brand new guitar, pretty unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So the price he paid for this guitar, $400 he paid for this guitar. And now it's got about $90 worth of setup work done on it and a brand new set of strings, because the ones that were on it were just absolute shit. So we're about ready to snip the ends off of these strings, and I'm going to go demo this bad boy, see what kind of noise we can make with the Jasmine. I'll be right back. Well, the Jasmine's all done, and thought I'd do a little demo of this one. My dad said that I needed to do some demos of the guitars after I work on them, and this one actually turned out really nicely. I'm really surprised how well this thing plays after doing a tremendous amount of work on it. Just a couple of notes. We did a little work on the nut. This string first fret action was way too high on the first three strings, the low E, A, and D, and then the rest of them were in good shape. So we did that. Took about 3/64 off of the saddle to lower the string action here at the 12th fret, and now, I just put strings on this less than a half an hour ago and stretched them and tuned them up. I stretched them some more and tuned them up. And my point in saying that is that you're seeing me stretch the crap out of these strings. I'm 3 fret. And the guitar's holding tune. So that's what you get when you bring a guitar in to me. When you get it back, if you can make it go out of tune, man, you are a better man than I am. So guitar plays really great. I think this kid is going to be a lifer on the guitar. He's going to give up video games and girls to play guitar. Thanks. Subscribe. See you later. Peace.